Have you ever felt hollow? Like you're constantly chasing after something shiny, something that glitters, money, recognition, success, only to find that once you finally grab it, it slips right through your fingers? What if I told you? Gold has always been the mirror of that very emptiness. You see, gold isn't just metal. It's not just wealth or jewelry or investment. Gold is you. It's your fears, your desires, your longing for permanence in a world where everything dies. And that's why, throughout history, humanity has been obsessed with it, because deep down, we're terrified of disappearing. Today I want to take you on a journey, not about financial advice, not about markets, but about discovering the hidden value of gold, the kind you never knew you were carrying inside you. Gold has always been more than an element dug from the earth. The pharaohs buried themselves with it, believing it would accompany them into eternity. The conquistadors crossed oceans, killing and enslaving, just to bring a few shimmering bars back to Spain. Even today, investors hoard it during times of crisis, calling it the safe haven. But here's the question: why? Why gold? Why not silver or iron or grain, things far more useful for survival? Plato once suggested that humans are born of different metals, the rulers of gold, the soldiers of silver, the workers of bronze. Nietzsche later twisted this idea, mocking our need for hierarchy and value, calling us out for worshipping idols of our own making. The truth is, we don't love gold because it's rare. We love it because it doesn't rust, it doesn't corrode. In a world where everything withers, our skin, our relationships, our very lives, gold remains untouched, eternal. Gold laughs at time, and that terrifies us because we can't. Think about this. When you buy a gold ring, do you really care about the atomic number 79? Of course not. You care about what it represents: permanence, a promise, a bond that won't decay even when everything else does. But isn't it strange? The ring can survive thousands of years, yet the love it represents can fade in months. This is where psychology enters. Carl Jung wrote that humans project their unconscious desires onto objects. We imbue them with sacred meaning. Gold, then, is not valuable because of its material. It's valuable because of the story we tell ourselves when we hold it. But here's the catch. That story is often a lie. We think gold gives us security. It doesn't. We think it makes us powerful. It doesn't. What it really does is expose us. It shows us how desperate we are for certainty, for something, anything, that won't vanish. Do you know what the Spanish did when they arrived in the Americas? They demanded gold from the indigenous people, not food, not water, not shelter, gold. The locals asked them why they were so obsessed, and the conquistadors answered, because we have a sickness that only gold can cure. But the sickness was never cured. Centuries later, that sickness remains. Nations wage wars under the guise of freedom or democracy, but beneath it all, there's always wealth, resources, and yes, gold. Even our financial systems once stood on the gold standard, as if tying money to a shiny rock would somehow make it eternal. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Gold has never saved us from corruption, poverty, or collapse. The Roman Empire was rich in gold, until it wasn't. The Spanish crown drained the Americas dry, and still went bankrupt. Gold doesn't save civilizations, it only exposes their hunger. So why do you personally care about gold? Be honest, it's not really about security. It's about fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of being worthless. Fear of dying without leaving something solid behind. Gold whispers to you, you will not be forgotten, you will last, and you believe it. But let me ask you, when was the last time you actually touched gold? Not plated jewelry, not a credit card commercial, but real, raw gold? Most people haven't. That's the paradox. We rarely see it, but we're haunted by it. It's like chasing happiness. The less we touch it, the more we believe it's the answer to everything. Nietzsche once warned, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." But what happens when your why is an illusion? When the thing you worship can't actually save you? That's when despair sets in. Here's the twist. The true value of gold isn't in the metal at all. It's in the question it forces us to ask ourselves, what am I really chasing? Gold reflects back our hunger for permanence, but also exposes its futility. Because no matter how much gold you own, time will still claim you. Empires crumble, families vanish, your own body, dust. And yet this isn't hopeless, because the real hidden value of gold is not in its eternity, but in its mirror. It forces us to confront our illusions, to ask, if nothing lasts, then what actually matters? Maybe the answer isn't in accumulating, but in creating, in living fully, intensely, beautifully, like gold, but without pretending you can escape decay. Let me tell you a story. In the 1940s, as bombs fell over Europe, a small group of prisoners in Dachau secretly smuggled pieces of bread to one another. Not gold, not money, bread. Each crumb was life, hope, resistance. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who would eventually be executed, wrote that the greatest treasure wasn't in possessions, but in the courage to remain human in the face of dehumanization. Bread was their gold. It wasn't eternal. It rotted, it disappeared, and yet it carried a value far greater than gold ever could, because it meant love, it meant sacrifice, it meant something truly eternal, something that cannot be locked away in a vault. So I'll ask you, what's your gold? Is it the paycheck that keeps you chained to a life you secretly hate? Is it the relationship you cling to because you fear being alone? Is it the endless scroll, the endless chase, the endless hunger for validation? Or is your gold something hidden, buried deeper? Your creativity, your courage, your compassion, that you've neglected because the world told you it wasn't worth anything. Maybe the hidden value of gold is realizing that you don't need it, that you already have something brighter within you, something time cannot tarnish. Gold may never rust, but neither do the choices you make when no one is watching. Neither do the moments of love, of courage, of creation that ripple across time in ways you may never see. So the next time you see gold, on a screen, in a shop, in your mind, remember, it's not the metal that matters, it's the mirror. And if you dare to look long enough, you might just discover that the treasure you've been chasing all along was never outside you. It was always within. The hidden value of gold is not that it lasts forever. It's that it asks us, what will you do knowing you don't?